It's going? Okay. So we're here today with Mr. Ben Hall, who's running for mayor of Houston. Mr. Hall, today, and I just told you this, it maybe become a little closer. I just said this. I got to see a different side of you today. This is my first time really hearing from you. What do you think? If you could say, what's the one thing that you want people who have not yet met you to know about you?
I think that my genuine concern for the city, the future of the city, and making sure that we have in place an economic policy that's going to help young generation, our younger generation, to have a future, a robust future here in Houston. I'm really concerned that right now we have an abundance of confidence in the present moment, but we're not making adequate preparation for those tough times that lay ahead. I mean, a young man like you should be prepared for a brighter future in Houston. And as the mayoral candidate, I want to put in place, or at least an option on the table, that improves the economic picture for the city as opposed to just allow the present incumbent to ride 2 more years out the post. That's number one. Personally, I'm a married man, love my bride, have a wonderful family, and I believe in my Lord who guides my life.
Okay. And then another question. I actually had the opportunity in 2011 to work for the Texas legislature for the 2011 session. And one of the things that really stood out to me, a lot of large cities here in Texas, like Dallas and Houston, in my opinion, really don't use their lobbying power or use the influence that they have to really push legislation that benefits the city. If elected mayor, how do you think, or what position would you take when it comes to dealing with the state legislature?
In fact, I like local control as opposed to running the city's business through Austin. So I would have a de minimis approach to Austin and legislature. I don't want them to trample on our rights of local control, but to the extent that they are, it would be kind of a protectionist view as opposed to trying to drive policy through Austin. I think the local population should control the policies in that area as long as they're not inconsistent with the overall scheme of the state. So as the mayor of the city, while I would have a lobby team, I'm not going to be aggressively trying to seek new laws through Austin as opposed to utilize the home rule powers of the city.
Okay. And then the last thing, because I know you've got a ton of things to do.
Just a few. But that's okay. I'm pleased to have met you.
Okay, likewise. I know that you were very involved with saving Shea Community Center, as well as being heavily involved with KCOH financially. What are some of the other things that you've been doing behind the scenes that people may not even know about?
In fact, my wife is telling me often that I need to brag more about the humanitarian things, but I'll be honest with you, that's contrary to my faith. My faith is that God gives us the gifts, and all we're doing is being a shepherd over those gifts. We shouldn't take credit for what God is doing. So as a result, I don't go out bragging about that. But in this season where people are asking that question, let me go ahead and answer at least a little. My wife and I have created a foundation where we make donations to charitable organizations, and our goal is to educate those who cannot afford their education, to provide food and shelter for the hungry and those that don't have a place to stay. Those are really our principal focuses. And we also donate to Habitat for Humanity and civil rights organizations. I believe that the quest for justice in the United States is still a challenge. And so we need to quietly, those who want to be vocal about it, but we need to aggressively contribute, both not only our money, but our efforts and our talents to promote justice in America. The third prong of the unassailable rights in the Constitution means something to me. The first is life, the second is liberty, but then we often ignore that third one, and that is the opportunity to pursue happiness. And so as the mayoral candidate and as the next mayor of the city of Houston, I'm going to give a lot of attention to that third prong, to provide an environment in which people can, in fact, pursue happiness, whatever that happiness is for them, as opposed to just simply think that the government function is just to protect you from being robbed or protect your property from being burned down. You also have to create an environment where you can grow up and be happy and pursue that happiness. And that's the dream that I have for the next mayor of the city of Houston.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and you can go ahead and hit that red button.
God bless you.